On June 19th, 1865, a Union general arrived in Galveston, Texas, to tell the slaves there that they were free. This was 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation, after the assassination of Abraham Lincoln, indeed, after the end of the Civil War. For the past 155 years, Juneteenth has been a day of celebration for African Americans and for all Americans to recognize this important step toward freedom. But the path to freedom isn't complete. It wasn't complete in 1865, and sadly, it's not complete today. We still have conflict. We still have violence against Black people. We still have systemic racism in our country. It's part of what we have to keep striving to do to form a more perfect union. We need more than rhetoric. We need action. And I'm hoping in the next several weeks here in the United States Congress, we will see meaningful action to diminish the scourge of violence against Black people at the hands of the police. But we also need to continue to listen to one another. Eloquent listening is what we need. We have to stop and think about, those of us who are white, what it's like to be pulled over for no reason. What it's like to be fearful of the police rather than view the police as your protectors. What it's like to be in a community where you're a distinct minority and it's obvious to everyone that you're in that minority. We have to stop and think about the systematic problems of race in this country going back 400 years. Earlier this spring, Mary and I went to Alabama on the civil rights pilgrimage with John Lewis. We went to Birmingham and Montgomery. We walked across the Edmund Pettus Bridge with John Lewis and others. But the most moving moment for me was a visit to the lynching memorial in Montgomery, which is a huge open air space with large objects hanging from the ceiling, each one of which has the names of people in this country that were lynched. And what bothered me about it, what struck me, was that all the counties where those names were listed weren't in the South. They were across America. They were Black people that were not given the benefit of justice. They were not given the benefit of due process. They were not given the benefit of freedom and justice for all. Their lives were taken arbitrarily and without just cause. We have to stop and think about this legacy. We have to eliminate it. We have to overcome it. It's natural to be fearful of people who are different than we are, whether it's because of religion or race or nationality. But overcoming that instinct, that fear, is what a civilization is all about. It's what this country is all about. We're trying to do something that's important in the history of the world, a country that truly can promise its people liberty and justice for all. Juneteenth this year has special meaning. It has special meaning because of the events following the death of George Floyd. It has special meaning because of all of the people that have gone to the streets, I myself being one of them. I was in a demonstration here in Washington several weeks ago with thousands of others, just talking about the promise of America and what people need. Those protesters were not asking for anything new or extraordinary or special. All they were asking, all they are asking, all I'm asking is that we meet the promise of America, that we live our creed. It's in our songs, it's in our statements, it's carved upon the stone above the entrance to the Supreme Court. Equal justice under law. We crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. brotherhood, justice. That's what Juneteenth is all about.